Welcome back, everybody. We are here with round 8, the second to last round of Swiss that we're going to be seeing today. And we have two undefeated players at table 1. We're going to go ahead and swap over to them. We've got Kid versus Law. Now, that is a match that we've actually seen on stream already. And it was pretty decisive when we saw it on stream. Kid made it look pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Kid's got a lot of tools to kind of control the board early. I think it does punish the Law player to lose that board control a little bit more than it punishes the Kid player. So, we might see that play out again.
We might. Now, this is undefeated round 8,
Yes.
so they're both 7-0. And I imagine that Law player has had to go through a kid or two to get here.
I think so. With as represented as Green is today, I think the Law player is going to put the Green player through the ropes today.
And interestingly enough, the other two undefeated, another Kid and a Luffy. So
Okay.
my guess of Kid undefeated at the end of the day is looking pretty good right now. Odds are forever in my favor right
Really
now.
twice as likely. All right, but I mean that's all up to Kaban here.
That is, yes. It's up to Kaban and the red Luffy player to see if there's going to be a a Kid mirror match in the finals. I'm going to be quite interested. But for the time being, let's see what happens. Kid versus Law. Now, are you looking to go first or second if you're Law here? It looks like Law rolled very high.
Nathan, up to the front, please. Nathan.
So Law gets to choose. What would you choose?
I think I would go second. It just gives me more Don, more card advantage, and I get to establish a bigger board faster. So,
All right. Well, let's see what he's going to choose. We are still just figuring things out. And there's the fist bump.
All right, well,
Yeah.
these players, before we start the 8th round, a few things.
Couple announcements, apparently.
There has been another bug with the round 9 showing on some people's phones. Just ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist. It's not going to affect anything.
So Law
I
won the
promise.
dice roll. We don't know if
Don't
he chose to
report
go
anything
first or
for round
second
9,
yet.
obviously, because you're in round 8. Please make sure you're playing your round 8 opponent and not your fake round 9 opponent. Everything will be fine. And second thing, make sure, once again, I want to say it again, reiterate, make sure that your results are accurate. We cannot go back in time and fix certain things. So please make sure you're going round and round before we go to the next round, letting us know if there's any discrepancies that we need to fix before moving on.
All right, Steven.
And third thing, and final thing, is confirmed 9 rounds at this point. We have 4 undefeated, therefore we are going to the full 9 rounds no matter what. With that being said, welcome to round 8 of 9. You have 35 minutes. You may begin.
All right, Steven, if you're Kid here, what card are you trying to prioritize? Aside from the Bonnie, the obvious, what
Nikomamushi.
card? Nikomamushi?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think so.
Izo's very good. Okiku in this matchup, very
Oh, yeah.
strong.
Absolutely. We see a Yamato in the hand, the spicy Yamato.
All right. Good to see an
Searchable with Momo.
undefeated Kid player playing Yamato.
Oh, absolutely.
Really representing that banish mechanic here today.
Now we've got Law deciding to keep the hand, Kid thinking about it. Do I keep this hand? It's got a 7-drop in it. It's got a Yamato. We're going to go ahead and keep.
It's a little heavy, but we like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of hoping the Law doesn't go full aggro early. Could be an issue, but otherwise should be fine.
You probably have some time here.
You probably do have some time, yeah. Law needs to set up.
Yeah.
Law needs to get to about turn 3.
The bigger
Turn 3 is where it
characters-
starts going off.
The bigger characters in your hand also do tend to play around Nikomamushi
They do.
easier. So
They absolutely do.
your opponent's hand can be less effective that way.
Now we see Law forcing Kid to go first. So just like you predicted there. We see a Momo out of the gate. That's pretty good.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
That's going to let him, when he gets a 3-Don, tap the Momo, grab Nikomamushi, and then he can then put some pressure on the Bonnie there.
Yep. Now we do see a Bonnie chopper come down. Nikomamushi here takes out a chopper when the leader swings. So we might not even bother with it. And it looks like we're going to go Raizo, pass,
We see the Raizo to kind of pressure the board and also draw a card.
and not attacking the Law there. I like it. Because the Law will just snap take the damage and get another card in hand. He's already going second. He's already got access to so many cards. Try to kind of starve the Law a little bit. Force him to use his hand to commit to the board.
We have seen a couple of times already. If you can get the Law a little bit lower on cards, they have a lot less options to fight your board, and then you just get to kind of explode by 5-drop, 7-drop, 8-drop, dominate the board.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we see Nikomamushi come down and clear the Momo. So now that Raizo it's a little difficult to actually get a draw off that Raizo. You're going to need another Momo or a Bonnie.
You see Jet Pistol in the red player's hand.
There's always a jet pistol in the red player's hand, Steven. All right, we got a Brook.
Brook comes down, kind of pressure the board.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Going a little wide against the Ryzo.
Yep. All right, so we're on our 5 Dawn turn here. Basil would be pretty cool if he has it. Ryzo 7-drop, Punk Gibson, Okiku.
Okiku, yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Punk Gibson, if he can Okiku plus Punk Gibson this turn.
Yeah. He could potentially start taking back. Unfortunately, the Okiku probably going to be met with a jet pistol.
Probably.
It's very strong against Law.
It is,
It's a little too strong.
It is one of those priority targets.
Yep. So Law is going into 6 Dawn here, which means he's not going to be able to use jet pistol and the leader effect. Unfortunately, he's just going to be minimum 1 Dawn 2, which is a sad thing, but I think the Law player kind of has to take the Okiku out here.
You can't let the kid player just have the Okiku on the table. That makes your blockers kind of weird.
Yep.
Just everything's uncomfortable.
Now, what we can do, though, pay 2, Law. So you pay 2, put Brook back in hand, play Law, put Nico back in hand, play Nico, tap the Okiku down, and then try and take it out.
And then you get to hold on to your jet pistols. That's a creative line.
It is. Unfortunately, though, the Okiku might survive the cycle if you do that.
But you do kind of take some resources away from the kid player.
Oh, now that's a Zoro. You do like to see the Zoro. All right, and we're going to go ahead and see Law do his effect. So we're going to see Room. Do we have a second? Do we have Law for Shambles? We do. Okay, so Law just going to go Room Shambles here. But what is he going to choose to put back? Part of the Law player is definitely wanting to put the Bonnie back because it's such high value. But you could just replay Neko, tap down Okiku, go 7 on the Okiku with the leader swing,
that's
and
exactly
that's
what
pretty
we're
strong.
seeing here,
That's
yep.
exactly what we see, and I agree with this line. I think
really
the
good
Okiku probably goes down with this,
I think you
unless
Punk
the Punk
out.
Gibson.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, you kind of set up for this,
Yeah,
right?
of
You
course,
Punk
of
Gibson.
course. Punk Gibson taps down. You could do a blocker, or you could try to get the Neko off the board.
Either one, I think, are value.
Yeah.
Either way, you're going to clear 2 to 3
Now,
creatures on
he
your turn.
tapped the red one, which is very important because Law's board is all green otherwise. And you have to swap a red for a green.
Yes.
So if we take out the chopper, we require an investment of another red card, which he has Brook. We know that, but still, you require the investment of a red card specifically.
Now, I think that's impressive, too, because he did have the choice between a green and a red
He did.
blocker, so he made the right call.
He made the absolute right call. So we see Okiku. We're going to tap down the Law.
Okay.
And we don't know what he's attacking, but it's probably Bonnie.
Bonnie, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely Bonnie. Bonnie's down. All right, now we get Ryzo. Now, this is the beautiful value the
Yes.
Ryzo can get. Does not actually need a Dawn to draw a card.
Nope, let's draw a card.
And so, wow, we cleared 2 things. Now we can use the leader to go after the Law if we want to. We have 6 Dawn remaining, so we can't exactly play our 7-drop this turn.
I think we are looking to clear the Law this.
You put 3 on leader, that's 8 on Law, and if it fails, try again.
Yes. Or at least you represent trying.
You do represent trying again. And it looks like that's exactly what he's thinking. And the represent try again is probably enough. Law only has 4 cards in hand. 8 might just take it out, period. We know there's a Brook in hand. Okay, so there's a block, which is good. Because 4 cards in hand, going to draw to 5, has to play 3 of them to get there. Now we could discard a card with the leader effect, and that it looks like that might be what we're doing, which is pretty good. And if you take out the Law with this,
Wow, yes.
then it's just so hard for Law to reestablish. So
Now Law has 1 Nikomamushi. Has to protect
he has
it.
to protect.
But we're discarding cards from our hand that,
Yeah.
that
And
are so
there it
relevant in
goes.
this matchup.
Wow. And
All
just
right.
the swing here. That kid player just cleared like 4 characters off of the board.
Well,
That's
that's the strength
huge.
of the Okiku.
It is the strength of the Okiku.
And Punk Gibson in this
And
matchup.
Punk Gibson, yeah, absolutely. Still on 5 life. There's plenty of game to be played for the kids' side. Law, on the other hand, struggling. Gonna need some Bonnies, gonna need some Namis. Really need to reestablish that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, probably don't have enough Dawn to get to that leader effect this turn.
Tough.
It is.
You are still looking at your jet pistol, take out the Okiku. But at
You
this
are.
point, Okiku has kind of done something.
I
already.
know. I mean, if you're the Law player here, do you think you're wishing you had just jet pistoled the Okiku last turn?
I'm not sure, but this turn we're going to see jet pistol on the Okiku and then leader swing on the.
Take the Ryzo out.
Definitely take the Ryzo out. I like the Nikomamushi attack here. About to protect it.
Mhm. Okay.
Kid player just gets to establish their 7-drop next turn.
Absolutely.
It's going to
Absolutely.
be really powerful.
Oh, yeah. Which, if he had jet pistoled, there would have been a 7-drop this last turn from the kid player. But there would have also been like 3-4 characters on the board, and
Yes.
Law would have had an opportunity So Kiku just did too much, I think.
The Punk Gibson really opened it up too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A little telegraphed Punk Gibson, but still,
Wow, that
that's okay.
get Brooke come down,
All right.
making this 7K attack via Kiku.
And there she goes. Okay.
All right, so we're still saving the jet pistol.
That's fine.
Which,
Now,
I mean, it is a tool you're going to need.
absolutely. But what are we going to do with the rest of our Don? Do we have a 5-drop Luffy to swing on the Raizo? It looks like we might. We have a Zoro for sure. We have a Zoro, a jet pistol, a Law, and I don't know what the last card in hand is. Looks like he's thinking between Zoro and jet pistol.
Yeah, I think
Oh, it's a Robin. Very interesting.
Robin would be fine to establish here too, but 7-drop is about
7
to
drop
come
is
down,
about-
so Nico Robin
yeah.
feels a little
Now,
weaker.
we did just see a discard of a 7-drop from
Okay,
the kid
all right.
player. The kid player did discard a 7-drop.
Okay, so we're bouncing this, but back in hand.
Okay.
This establishes Nico Robin.
And
Oh, it's Zoro, okay.
Could establish Zoro as
Let's
well.
attack, yeah.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Now we've taken a lot from the kid player. You know, on our crackback, we were able to at least
Mhm.
take the board back.
Took it back, the
Yep.
tempo swing. Now that opens up a lot of lines on the next level.
It does. It absolutely does. And it really depends on the kid player's hand right now as to what can happen. The 7-drop is pretty scary right here. But it does give an opportunity. Okay, now we see 6, and it looks like 8 Don left, which
That does pressure the law to tap
Mhm.
to block.
absolutely, yeah. You have to swing 6 here minimum. 7 or 8 is preferred, but if you have an 8-drop that you want to play,
The law player's hand is so low at this
It's so
point.
low.
Yeah, it's very hard to
Mhm.
counter out.
it is. And especially to keep the board, to build the board back
You just see an
afterwards.
8-drop come down
Yep.
untapped. I liked it.
Beautiful.
Yes.
That's the tempo 8-drop, very strong. We've seen tempo Shankses today.
Yes.
We've seen tempo 8-drops today.
The takeaway here is really you can play your characters untapped. You don't have to rest them immediately.
Yep, absolutely. Just because it has that effect
Yes.
doesn't mean you need it. You know, 5 life left. I'd like to take a couple of those
Mhm.
before that guy turns
Yes.
sideways. All right, so Nami
Nami,
off the
oh,
top.
very powerful.
Wow, very strong.
That's one of those cards that
is-
lets you rebuild quickly.
That is unfortunately
Option to grab
it's
another
like a
jet pistol here.
pistol. I don't know if that's what he wanted to see.
I don't think so.
don't
I
think
mean,
so.
he held on to the first jet pistol, very cautiously. I think a second one here. That's a little bit like the first one.
I
Just
mean,
held
but-
too long.
I'd be taking a Robin. We're gonna take a
Okay,
Robin.
Nico Robin.
Yeah, Nico Robin's fine. Nico Robin really helps when it comes to dealing with the blockers that the kid might be surrounded by.
Great.
All right, we've got 2 Robin in hand. Could just slam double Robin.
Let's
It-
see if he takes that line.
We're going to do a damage. I think
5K
kid
on
player's
you.
just going to take it.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
no question
give
on
me
that
give
one.
me cards to protect my 8-drop
Absolutely.
when I swing with it next
Yep.
turn.
Yes, please. Thank you. May I have another? All right. Now, the law player's hand is so light right now.
Absolutely. But if we can establish 5 characters on the board, you can start to pick up that Nami and replay it for way more value.
Yeah, absolutely. We see a Robin come down.
Nami was such a good draw.
He was so strong. And we see another Robin come down. Right.
Hey, all
Okay.
right.
And-
Now we have a game plan against cheap blockers,
Yeah.
and we have our leader swing for that kid.
But we don't have value for the leader
We're
effect
hoping
right now.
we're hoping to grab the Otama.
Yeah.
If we can Otama jet pistol the kid, I think we're in a good.
We're really hoping to find the Otama. The problem is, short of a Momonosuke, we have to draw the Otama, which is rough to say the least.
Kid player here doesn't have a clear way to start taking down this board.
No.
So the law player is going to have all 5 characters on his.
Very likely, and might be taking some damage this turn too, which is going to help refill that hand.
Might find
and
an Otama there.
might find an Otama there. That's what we're looking for right now. On the law player side, we're looking for that Otama. Oh,
Basil Hawkins really
Basil.
threatens the board here.
yeah, that definitely has to get respected with a jet pistol.
Mhm.
If you can't Otama jet pistol the 8-drop, the Hawkins just it's gonna draw it. Definitely
Yes.
gonna draw it. Hawkins is very good against law because it just basically trivializes your blockers. Okay, so we see no attacks whatsoever. We're just starving the law out, treating it like it's Zoro,
Yes.
which
5
is
down
very good.
open too.
Oh yeah, What's up?
Kind of signals that, hey, I really have mostly kaijus in my
Yes,
hand.
my hand is all kaiju. Good luck, sir. And now we see that he'll have to actually sacrifice a character to play an Otama here, or use his leader effect to put the law back in hand, which isn't necessarily the best thing in the world.
5K, get
Yeah,
the
we're going to go ahead and take
okay,
that.
get the
yeah.
free damage across.
There's a Paradise Waterfall in here. Well,
All right.
okay, so we're going to see a 5 swing.
Didn't give value for the Nico Robin this turn.
See a counter of the Yamato. We're going to go ahead and go 5 again. The law player just knows it's time. We need to turn cards sideways. We need to,
Well, you're going to start picking your characters up this turn, so it's really nice to attack with those.
potentially. His hand is Jet Pistol, I think Nekomamushi, and his
So
draw.
You're staring down 2 monsters
You are.
from the kid player here, so the best way to deal with this is start threatening the life.
Yep. Now, you could put your swing with your law, and then you could put it back in your hand, play nothing, and then pay 5 for the law, replay it, replay the Nami.
Yep, powerful.
Yeah, that is an option.
That's going to find some of the Luffys for you to close out the game.
Yep. Or we can also just put the Nami back. But I
Put-
do
and
like
he put
swing with
nothing
law.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an option.
This does save you 5 Don, so the Nami could find you something like a Luffy, which could be important.
Replay the Nami.
It's 1 less attack, technically, but it's not a bad thing. And we're going to go ahead and grab a second
pistol.
Jet Pistol. And
Well, that frees up the first jet pistol for
it
the
sure
Faithful
does.
Hawkins
It
here.
sure does. We're going to just see 4 Don go. We're going to
Really-
use that.
Really strong here.
Yep. Thank you, Nami. Now the kid player's at 2 life. Might have to start attacking.
The 5Ks really are pressuring him.
They
right now.
are. Pressuring very well.
Well, at some point, he can turn his kid sideways.
He can, yeah. Probably this turn.
We're going to have to deal with the Nico Robins before we turn the kid sideways.
The kid does handle a Nico Robin. And then your leader might be able to handle another one. Looks like he's got Momo Bonnie, Paradise Waterfall, I think Punk Gibson, perhaps?
Okay.
Like the kid player's hand is all draw and defense now, going to 1 life.
Did let himself go to 1, but now he has a lot of resources for this final push.
Yeah, and this 8 drop to keep it alive. Like this 8 drop, you could be at 1 life, 0 life, good enough in a lot of instances because of that 8 drop.
It's going to be really strong here.
Now the Robins do trivialize blockers. The kid player's gonna have a tough time dealing with those blockers, so we might see 9K go after a Robin, but instead, nope, yep, go after the Robin. Perfect. We see 6 on the other Robin, and there they go. Robin being more of a threat than the law.
It kind of is, though.
It kind of is. No, you are very
Here's
much
a Bonnie
correct.
coming down.
All right,
Looking for some
so
heavy hitters here.
yep, and now this Bonnie is
Oh,
protected.
wow, you have a lot of options here.
So many options.
Got Killer.
The Killer's
see
a little
Napu,
late.
We see a Capone.
The killer is a little
We
late.
also see a
Unfortunately,
5-drop Law, though.
See a 7 drop in the hand, I think.
Yeah.
And that Bonnie being protected by that 8 drop,
Yes.
this is where Kid just starts to turn the game.
That can be That can be an extra card every single turn.
It absolutely can be. And that adds up very fast.
Kid is
The-
absolutely trying to take the game a little bit longer, so that's the game he wants to play.
Yep. So, that Bonnie, the moment a Bonnie draws a second card, it's just so much
Looks
value.
like he's thinking about grabbing the Capone.
Very interesting. There are no more Robins. Capone does just protect the 8 drop. He has only has 6 Don remaining. So he can't play a 7 drop this turn. So Capone
Grabs Capone.
grabs Capone.
All
Yeah,
right.
I like the Capone.
Yeah, it's
I
a
like
cheap
the Capone
blocker.
card.
Let's
Yep.
go.
We could also Momonosuke this turn because of that. We could use our Don for Momonosuke. Try to find some more, and Izo would be very, very.
More 2K counters. Also, Izo has a lot of gameplay.
Yes,
too.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Izo would be the best Momonosuke hit right now. So 6 Don, a lot of options. Hand is very defensive, with Paradise Waterfall as well.
Holding Paradise Waterfall, we do want to see an opportunity to drop that 7-drop.
And a killer. And it looked like maybe even another Bonnie.
Wow, okay.
So
Yep,
many
we
options.
do see another Bonnie in the hand.
Yep. Flooded with options
We
right
could
now.
we could also play the other Bonnie this turn and add another card to the hand.
We could, and both of them end up just
And
protected.
then finish it off with a kill.
The question is it Bonnie or Momo? I think Momo's correct. I
Momo's-
think that
Momo looks very
Izo,
good.
the fact that you can find an Ezo off of this is just worth so much.
Okay, so we have another Momo,
Yeah, and I
which is
think
probably what we're going to
probably going to take it just for the counter power.
Establishing Okiku would not be bad either. It does kind of
okay.
pressure the opponent.
It does. It
Okiku
threatens.
tapping down Law, basically everything.
Everything,
The
just
Law player wants
basically
to
everything.
play.
But we
lot
do
of
see a
sense.
killer come down. We're going to put one on the killer, and then we just slam the Beige for that last Don.
We have
Beautiful.
you know,
Thinking about with
debating
the Paradise.
Paradise Waterfall versus.
It's a tough call, but
And we left Paradise
left
Waterfall
it.
open.
now Killer has an adorable interaction with Paradise Waterfall. Killer is not once per turn.
It is not.
So Killer could draw 2 cards this turn.
But, that does
that's an
mean
8-drop that he
you-
has to attack,
you
so it's
do
not
have
likely.
to,
Yeah,
You do have to discard quite a few cards.
quite a few.
In order to draw 2 there.
All right, so that's the Nico that we knew was in hand. And then Otama. Oh my
Jet
goodness, he
pistol.
found an
There we
Otama.
go.
He found Otama. Oh, if you're the kid player right now, your heart sank.
You're a little worried, but you can Paradise Waterfall out of an early attack here. Untap your killer. You've got another card draw and some blocks here. The Atomic Jet Pistol did cost 5,
It did.
and that's exactly what we see. That's such a powerful play,
Mhm.
and something that's really niche too. I mean, certainly we
Yeah.
don't see that play come up very often.
Absolutely. The Law player didn't even consider playing around it because what he could have done is swing 2K on Momo, and then the Momo would not get the Momo would go down, and then if he Paradise Waterfall, even if he untaps the killer, the Paradise Waterfall doesn't protect the Momo, and then if the Momo goes down, killer can't draw a card.
Can't draw a card anymore. Oh, we are holding that
We
killer
did have
as
a
a
3-drop
blocker
killer
right now.
though, so 3-drop killer definitely helped there.
There's a lot of control from the kid player too.
It is.
Not,
Now
not just going for the cheap draw card there.
the Otama Jet Pistol has completely swayed this game. We went
Yes.
from control
Mhm.
to uh-oh.
Yes.
Now we regret taking that damage last turn and going to 1 life. We've seen 2 Jet Pistols. We also saw one get bottom decked earlier. So Jet Pistol potentially out of the equation.
Yes.
Kid now has to do 5 points of damage. 4 life damage, and then the last one to win the game. While Law only has to do 2.
Well, Kid has like a side objective here of just clearing the board, but that one's going to be really tough for him.
It's going to be very difficult. Absolutely.
I would have liked to see the Okiku come down last turn to start pressuring the board this turn,
Mhm.
but it's really hard to predict this kind of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the Otama rip,
Yeah.
so strong.
So good.
So
yeah.
strong.
That really broke everything.
That
for him.
did. That did. I'm sure Kaban was very excited to see that Okiku. Not Okiku, the Otama.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's been waiting for that draw the whole
Oh
game.
my goodness, right? Holding the jet pistol, discipline with the jet pistol, knows
Absolutely.
I have to use this on that 8-drop.
Yes.
Right,
He
so
had a game plan from the
he
beginning.
did. He did. And it paid off.
Now the 7-drop here is quite powerful.
But is it enough? So we have 7-drop and Capone.
Have quite a few attacks coming out of the Law player this turn.
Quite a few.
So
Quite a few.
Bonnie comes down. Now Bonnie is a 1K counter. Is the subtext on that card.
Yes.
So putting on the battlefield, kind of signaling that you think you'll survive this turn, which you're probably safe. But this is a lot of attacks.
It is. It is. A lot of 5K attacks.
Kid player
potentially.
has, I think, 2 cards in hand right.
Yeah, it
Check
looks
and
like
see what you've
Kid
already
has
played. How many
Kid has
two-
either 2 or 3 cards in hand.
Check how many 2Ks have already come by.
Yeah. What else could possibly be in the hand? Completely tapped out. All Dawn is rested. Could just go 5, 5, 5.
It's really tough to do that because if you don't win the game there, then the kid player gets to clear your entire board, and then we go back to that really dominating kid.
Oh my goodness, a Bonnie off the
Very
top.
good.
Incredible.
Oh, and we slammed
We just
that
slammed
Law.
the Law. We didn't need anything else. This is what we were looking for the whole time. You could put Otama back in hand, play Law, put Bonnie back in hand, play Otama, shrink the
Yes.
the 7-drop to 5, and now you don't have to don anything. And then, oh, we're gonna put the Nico back in and tap down the Beige. That is also a line.
Tap the Capone
Also
there.
a line, yeah. All right, here we go. We're gonna see. Thinking about it. Go with a relatively free clear of the Beige for sure. We're gonna go 7 at leader.
I mean, this makes sense.
That's rough. Yeah.
Continue pressuring. You go to 0
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
Now your hand is only 3 cards. I guess we
Yeah.
have 4 cards in hand right now.
Yep. We just go 7 again.
We have 1 blocker.
Have to respect what the. If you block here, got a 9 coming at you.
And
And
that's the
we
game.
just see the game. Yeah, we just see the game.
concede there.
So that's
Wow,
very
but-
interesting. The kid player choosing not to do any damage, try to starve the opponent of resources. And unfortunately, the law player was able to find the resources he needed off the top of the deck.
Sometimes it works out, but sometimes Bonnie just, Nami's really, we actually saw the game kind of pivot when he played the Nami that turn.
Oh, yeah.
Nami just such a powerful searcher.
I can't help but wonder if he had done damage with the kid in the earlier turns, would he have been in a better spot? Because then his leader could actually be a threat. At 4 life, Law is not worried about the leader.
You can't, you're not going to be able to kill him.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you could have definitely been more aggressive.
We saw 3 turns passed with the leader not attack. We saw 2 turns passed with the 8-drop not attack. And unfortunately, the game came down to, if my opponent has Otama Jet Pistol, I've put myself in a position to lose. And if he doesn't, I've put myself in a position to win. And unfortunately, on the gotta have it, he had it.